Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for information on living in Maryland. Today we're going to talk about what the heck is going on with the Maryland real estate market. And before we get started, I have to tell you that I am a licensed realtor in the state of Maryland. So if you are considering moving here or moving within Maryland, I would be happy to help you or answer any questions you may have. You can reach out to me. My information is listed below. And you can also visit my Instagram page at Eddie Brady Real Estate and message me there as well. So with that, let's get started. When talking about what's happening in the Maryland real estate market, we need to focus on the numbers, where the news is going to focus on buzzwords and fear and making people want to watch because they think the world is ending. We're going to focus on the actual trends that we see in the data year over year. And right now, the most up-to-date data we have is from September of 2022, and we're going to compare that to September of 2021. And just how much data do we have to go off of? Well, in September of 2022, there were about 6,700 home sales in the state of Maryland compared to about 9,400 home sales in September of 2021. Now, why did this change so drastically? Well, I'd say the majority of the reason is the interest rate spikes. You know, last year we were still in the 2s, 3s, and 4s, where this year we're now in the 7s. That makes a huge difference in affordability and monthly payment, and I think that's led to the decline in home sales in 2022. And what hasn't helped the affordability issue is that the average sales price in Maryland is still up 4.8% year over year. Now, this could change when the Fed meets in November and December because everyone is expecting them to hike rates again. Now, whether it's 50 basis points or 75 basis points, we really don't know, but we're expecting that because the recent inflation numbers in October so far halfway through the month are not looking good. So that could mean that home prices do come back down to even 2021 levels, but we'll just have to wait and see. And with homes being less affordable than last year, you'd expect that inventory would be much higher this year, but that's not what we saw in September. We actually had almost 3,000 less homes on the market in September of 2022 versus 2021. And what that's doing is keeping a upwards pressure on prices. That's because buyers that still really need to move are still snapping up that inventory, and we aren't seeing the plummeting prices that would happen if buyer demand totally dropped off. And again, this could all change in November and December if the Fed decides to raise rates significantly, and that just knocks all of the buyers out of the market, and then we could see home prices really start to correct into previous year's levels. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. I'm expecting rates to go higher because worst case, if I'm wrong, that's good news. But I just want to prepare everyone for the reality of this situation is that we really could see higher interest rates. So if you are thinking of buying now, we're going to talk about that in a minute, whether or not you really should. Now, home prices correcting definitely sounds like bad news, but it's actually going to be good for the Maryland real estate market and a lot of markets around the nation. And you know, I'm a homeowner in Maryland, so I obviously don't like to hear that my home value will be correcting, but the values we've seen over the last 2 years just aren't sustainable. They've just gone up way too much, and if they kept going up at that rate, we really would be at risk of a crash. So what I really want to see, and I think what everyone should want to see, is home price appreciation go back to a more reasonable level of around 3 to 5%, which is usually what we see in most Maryland markets. And I think then we'd be on a much better track. So what does this mean for you if you want to buy a home in Maryland in 2022? Well, if you're looking at interest rates, 3 things can happen. Rates can go up after you purchase your home and you're going to be happy because you locked in a lower rate, or rates remain the same and it's pretty much a wash, you don't have to worry about it, or rates go significantly down next year and you have the opportunity to refinance. And as far as home values, 3 things can happen there as well. Your home values could go up after you purchase, in which case you have potential equity in your home. Home values could remain the same and stagnate and you're in the same position as when you bought, or home prices could decline. You could see the values of home prices decline in 2023. And what happens to you then? Well, really nothing. You know, your mortgage payment's the same, everything's the same. You just don't want to sell in the short term. So what I'm telling everyone now, and this is really important for you to know, is if you're buying a home in 2022, plan to be in your home for at least 3 years, preferably 5 or more years, and you'll be just fine. And if you do have more of a short-term plan, selling in the next 2 to 3 years, I really don't recommend buying right now. I mean, I know that sounds weird coming from a realtor. I'm always wanting to help people buy and sell, but it's probably better for you to rent. And if you do want to buy a home, you just want to jump into that game, but you're going to be moving, you should really analyze your home as a potential investment in rental property on the front end to make sure if you do move out, you could at least keep it as a rental and be profitable. And if you need help running those numbers, I do this all the time. I own my own rental properties as well. So just reach out to me and I'm happy to plug those numbers in my personal calculator for you and let you know if that would work. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the housing market right now. What do you think of the interest rates and home values? Would you buy in 2022 or would you wait? And if you are thinking of moving to Maryland or within Maryland, please reach out to me. This is my cell phone number down here. I will respond to you right away. This is what I love to do. So seriously, reach out to me and I would be happy to help. You can also reach out to me at my Instagram page, which is at Eddie Brady Real Estate, and message me on there as well. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so that you stay up to date on all of my videos about living in Maryland.